Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, test. Cool. Started. Hey there. So, change that. Hey Hamish, nice to see you. Hi Shyam Creations. Very good, and you? Oh no, I'm twice here. I think that's wrong. Remove. So now it's better. Thank you, Mahtab. So this is ready. Just preparing everything, so no rush yet. So I hope I hear everything. We have to change that here too. So output, here we go. Up. So let's test one of the widgets. Can't see them, that's bad. Up. Add. Here we go. Hey Tech with Agent, nice to see you around. I will make my voice a bit better, so that should be perfect. That works too, perfect. Well, actually I'm just Flutter at the moment, but Flutter is of course built up on the Dart language, so I'm working with that too. But on this live stream today, I just want to work with my Dart Koans, if you remember. So Dart Koans is like how you can learn Dart at the end. So that is the main idea. And there is a GitHub repository that I created that lets you write tests. And with these tests, you learn the language. And at the moment, we're working there on a build runner, so on a test runner, so that every test that we created is running in the background. Yeah, so and it's very early in the morning, so no rush. So how are you everyone today? What are you doing? Hey Hamish, so I hear the sounds, that is working, so be right back, change that intermission live screen, here we go. All right, so I just would say let's start right away, or what I can see is, you can see everything. Is the font big enough? Yep, looks good. Can you, now there is again 2 audio inputs, I'm sorry for that. So now that should be fine. So can you hear me clearly? Can you see me? Everything works? Just give me some icons or emojis in this chat. Just that I know that you can see me, hear me, and everything is fine. Cool. So, and what I will do is, if we go to, thank you, Ruben. So, and what I want to do is I want to start by going to github.com, because as I said, I created already a project that called Dart Koans. I think you will find the link down in the video description if you follow along, or if you want to also have a look what I want to do. And the basic idea of these Dart Koans is that you write tests and learn with that the language and deeper knowledge of the language. So if you take, for example, our main.dart, I think I started somewhere with tests. Yep. So we have tests for chapter 1 and chapter 2, for example. And what you will do is you read about asserts, so how they work. And after that, you have something like expect, true. Oh, I make that a bit bigger, sorry for that. So like here, we say expect true is false, and there is a reason why this is failing. And that is the main idea at the end, so that we can learn the language by just fixing tests, because we're working with the language. And I use a different headset right now, so maybe this is the reason. And it's early in the morning, so I still with my first coffee, so. Yes, I can do that if everyone agrees and is happy with that. If I'm not fixing with the Koans right away, we can start with a small FlutterExplained, where I just create a shared preferences with a date. And else I can do it in this afternoon when we work anyway with Flutter. I think that should be easier there. So let's first start up the project. Yep. So, yep. Or I can do that here quickly with the Android user if this is okay with everyone. So I would start by showing how you can save a date time in shared preferences. So for example, we have the main.dart. This is our project that we have from Wednesday's live stream. So don't worry, I just add that here now, but I will not save that somewhere. So for example, we have here in the main.dart and the my app, or better, let's change the main.dart to a function here. Instead of a fat arrow function, we have all that part inside. And what we will do is we have a date time that we call D, for example, and we have a new date time, right? And this new date time is, of course, now. That was a static method, now. So this is exactly now, right? The moment where this date time is created. Now we want to save that in the shared preferences. So our idea is we go to pub.dev and start by shared preferences. And as you see, there is a package, Flutter favorite, over nearly 1,000 likes. So it is really often used. I think if you take a look down here, how many packages depend on it, it will be 129. This is pretty large. So pretty famous package that you can use for all your dependencies too. So with that, we can save strings down in the local, like a local database that is saving key value pairs. And what I will do is I add that to our pubspec.yaml and make the YAML right. Now pub.get, right? So we have to get the packages. Shared preferences saves information into your device locally. So if we can take a look, we will save, for example, integers, booleans, or strings. So you can save all basic data types, or primitive data types is the right name. So, and these can be saved on your local device. And when you restart, for example, your application, you can take these information. There are some limitations, so you shouldn't use it as a fully fledged database, but you can use it for small information, like for example, is your dark mode enabled or your light mode enabled. I made there already a video somewhere, so if you search on our channel, I think you will find something there. Okay, but if you have the shared preferences now here in place and you go back to the main.dart, we can access them with SharedPreferences.get instance. And this gives us a singleton widget, or a singleton object from these shared preferences. And now what we want to do is saving them somewhere. So we have shared prefs, for example, or even easier, just prefs. And we have to await for that, I think, or no, I don't know anymore. So take a look here. Yeah, it's just a feature of shared preferences. So we will have to wait for it. So we will say await in this case. And because the main function can be asynchronous, we can add that here. And we will have a future of void, but that makes no difference. So if we wait now for that shared preferences, we have now the prefs, and we can set, for example, a boolean, double, integer, string, and so on and so forth. So, but the datetime is no string, no integer, or something like that. So we have to convert it to something that we can save. So we will convert that to, I think 2 milliseconds or milliseconds since epoch. So this will return us a string that represents the date time with milliseconds since epoch. And as you can see, it is an integer. And this is pretty perfect because now we can say prefs.setInt, and now we can have a key, for example, our date time. So this is just a string key that represents our value again. So if we want to get the value later, we will have to get that from this key. And the value, what could be the value? Yes, correct. We use the d.milliseconds since epoch. So with that, we have saved it already locally. So this is the part saved locally. Now, if we restart our application, we could, if we restart our application, we could get this information. And how could we do that? Well, we want to have a date time, right? And we want to have a date time called restart date time, for example. And how can we get that? We access the prefs again and make get integer right? With the key our date time. And as you can see now, this is red because we have to wait for it, I assume, or no, wait. This just returns us an integer, right? Again, so this is an int, and I think we have still to wait for it because that one is not asynchronous. Okay, sorry for that. So we remove the await here. We get the information from our datetime, which is our milliseconds since epoch, and now we want to create a datetime out of it. So this will be the milliseconds since epoch. Could be a long name. Of course, you can remove that and just say something like, restart milli or something like that. Whatever floats your boat or fits better your purposes. And now we can say, okay, the new datetime is the restart. Datetime equals to datetime. And now we have a constructor for that called from milliseconds since epoch. And now here we have to give our new start milli inside. And restart milli, all right. So here we go. And in this part will now be our new datetime inside. So this here is, this one is saved locally till here. And this can be, of course, happen in a button or in something else or after a login if you want to save some login information or something like that. And down here, we retrieve our information. So we retrieve our datetime. And this can happen, for example, if you want to restart your application. After you have restarted it, you want to, I can also turn on the light. Hey. So this can happen, for example, after a restart of the application. Then you can take this datetime and display it somewhere. And I think that should be pretty easy to do and should work like that. So yeah, that's it, Android user. Not too complicated, or? Any questions to that? Should I make a real example? No worries. That's what I'm here for. All right, but this is actually, is this Flutter? Yeah, it's Flutter because of preferences, right? So this is only working in Flutter. Okay, so now we remove that again. I think I will anyway revert that package here because I don't want to make any changes yet. So discard all. And let's swap to our package that I want to work on today. So let's search Dart Koans. Okay, where have we stopped the last time? If you remember, we had some very interesting work there because I want to have an own runner of my tests that I can, for example, have more power. For example, changing the order in which, changing the order in which the tests are running. And I think I can also turn on some music. Maybe this helps for me. Maybe I can. Would be fantastic if you can hear them. My thoughts on making games with Flare. This is a real cool question. Well, I love Rife, so I even made some own things inside of it. Not that I'm really good with it, but I'm getting better as always. But what I found is that this Rife stuff is amazing. I don't know how games will work. The question with games is always, do you have? Oh, it's the wrong account. But anyway, if you want to make games with Rife and so on, can't help you so much because game development is really an own structure for itself, and this is really big. Yes, the music is coming from Pretzels or something, so it should be fine with the copyright, hopefully. But thank you, Hamish, for being mindful. So about game development, I think you maybe have seen that there was a game from Flutter itself sometime, I think in 2019 or something they showed it. And as you can see, they recreated the characters in Rife so that they are usable. And you have the different animation types that they are going through, and that's pretty awesome. But to write our own game for it, it highly depends on what you want to do. If you want to write a real game, an action game or something with game loop and everything, then it could be pretty difficult. I think there's also a package called Flame, if I'm correct, that currently tries to create the game loop for you, creating components and objects, having a physics engine behind, and so on and so forth for Flutter. But as you can see, the version is right now at 0.22, which could be a bit difficult. But if you search, for example, for like a storytelling game or something, I can give you a hint. That was from Dimitrio, I think. He showed me a package the last time where he explained that he has like a game engine written for storytelling, and that was pretty awesome. So there you can of course use very easily the part. Sadly, I don't know anymore where that one was. So I hope it's not too loud. The sounds is crazy. Okay. Any further questions? Okay, then let's start with the Koans. Where have we stopped the last time? So I'm on the right branch. I'm on master at the moment, but actually I want to be on the runner branch. No worries, Amar. It's a pleasure. What is wrong? Clean your... okay. So I have changes again somewhere. Optimal string, okay, yep. I think I have to revert them. Yeah, let's go do this. Discard, and let's go to the runner branch. And if you have seen the repository already, I created there quite a lot yet. So as I said, I want to have a runner there, and how this will look like is more like the Python Koans. And I don't know if you have ever looked at them, but they really will ask you for every test to answer, and they call it with awareness, so it is more like this Buddhism learning style, which I really like. And what they do is, if you take a look into the library from them, oh, that is maybe a bit too here, Koans, and there is, for example, about asserts, where they explain everything. And what they are doing is exactly what we are doing. They write some comments so that the people can learn what they are doing. Yeah, true, Average. That was also impressive. Good old extensions. I think it didn't work the last time, right? If I remember correctly. It was a bit sad. And it could be that the stream is now getting interrupted for a second. But we are lucky, I hope. Yeah, it looks good. Or? Yeah. Lucky me, I tried something around. Yeah, so all good. Okay. Here we go. So there are different tests, and what I want to hope is that we can create such a runner at the end. That I have a terminal where I can change the colors, where we can tell a story and guide more or less our Dart learners and Dart newbies to go one step after another to learn the next steps in the language. And this would be fantastic because we could share that with other young developers, for example, who have never seen code, and they could start with that. And yeah, so let's try that out. Let's see where we are. Maybe I can show you what I did the last time. How did we actually do that? We had here a runner with the mountain and path of enlightenment. Yep. So you can see I was the last time along. The last session was already a long time ago, so I regret that right now. That's weirdly dark for me. Better. Okay, so what we can do is Flutter run. Sorry, Flutter. Completely wrong language. We are in Dart here. So Android user is writing right now, if I have 10 documents in SharedPrefs, I would like to show one document with each button click, but I do not want to show the same user if user already fetched by button click. I'm pretty sure that there is a way, but it is very specific, so you have to find your way through. Cut your problem in multiple steps and then try it out. I think you will find a good solution for that. Maybe someone from the chat can help you there? All right, so what have we done here now? So it seems that we run all our tests at the moment, but this looks not exactly what I want to have, right? Didn't I have the runner somewhere? So this opens up the mountain, which is this part, which calls the path of enlightenment with the koans. Uh-oh, I have a bad feeling that we worked the last time on master branch. Yeah, so you can see I worked the last time on the master branch. Ooh, that's not good. I don't like that. But anyway, for that reason, I have to delete a branch. Delete branch, and I will delete the runner branch now, because we have everything here inside anyway. So for that, we create a new branch called runner development. And here we will have a look. So let's go. Let's call Dart bin main. So now we have the watcher is watching at the moment. So what we will do is inside of the main.dart, we start our manager or process manager, calling pub, run, enable asserts, and then we run always the tests on this Dart Koan start. So if something changed in this Dart file, so where we are here, no, this is executed, Dart Koans, this would be this one, no, this one. And what we will do here is we reflect the classes about asserts. So we looking into the class about assert, which we will find here. And the funny thing is what happens now is we take all the different methods that are in this class and run our tests in there. That is pretty awesome. So and what I want to start with is just cleaning up a little bit, right? Because if I see here C is not a really good name and also all the other parts are a bit meh. So we should clean that a bit up. So first things first, we don't have to print anything. Or is it a event? Ooh, what was that? It was pretty loud. Congratulations. So yeah, Emish, that works. So very good done. Okay, so I think we can remove that. And what happens now if I'm going to the chapter 1? You can see we have all these different tests, right? So for example, here we have expected value and real value. And if I change and we assert that the real value should be the expected value. So how can we fix that test? We can fix it by just changing here the number to 2. And as soon as I do that and save, you will see we get an error. So and the question is now, it hadn't decreased your point? Okay. I don't know. I didn't. That's the first time that we tried it, so that's pretty cool. So should we take a look? So if we go to FlutterExplained.live, I created there like this loyalty points down here. Don't know if you have. It has decreased your points. Maybe it's just not refreshed for you. And as you can see, I added some new features here. So if you're watching long enough, you can redeem one of these. So this is early access to our next blog entry. This is just a cheer sound that you hear right now from Emish. And this one is a personalized card. So we thought about to print like postcards out and send them to you guys whenever you reach these points. Cool. Okay, but somehow I didn't fix the test. I destroyed the test and it says failed assertion line 3. Line 3, where is line 3? Here. Okay, so this assertion is failed. And the hint is change false to true. So the first test would be here to make true true. But what is a problem at the moment is, for example, that we don't have the correct values here and here. And when I run the first time our Dart main file, what I don't like is that we get the watcher is watching, but we have to change something first before we see the first result. So what would be great is that we call it once, and then after we have called it once, we automatically run into the Dart Koans once more. Yeah, it took a while, but hey, it works, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty impressive. So these tests should be wrong. That's perfect. And now what we want to do is cleaning up a little bit, as I said. So let's start with here. We have watches watching. I think that is perfectly fine. But we want to run at least once the whole thing. So what we can do is make this call maybe in front of everything, at least once before we listen to something. But the problem is the manager is also necessary. I add that here. Let's see if this is working still, or is it a bad idea? I don't know yet. Perfect. So we get the watcher is watching. That's perfect. So we know now that whenever we go into the Koans and change something, that the process manager is running again, and we get also the error messages. So it would be just better if we have that in the right order. And instead of watcher is watching, we would have like a better message. So there's so much stuff to do. So what I will do is I start with writing some to-dos for us. So the first thing is cleaning up the code. To-do, clean up code, like variable names. Then we have this part. I think this while is perfect. And another question is we maybe should have something like where we a much easy way to disturb you. Yeah, that's true. But if you remember, you really need that. And I thought that's a good idea. No, there is no latency today. So I'm completely with you. So if you say something, I should be nearly instantaneously with you. Is it possible to create an app to watches of Apple with Flutter? Yeah, sure it is possible. Absolutely even. So the easiest way, if you open up, as always, I am an Android Studio guy. So what you can do is here you have the AVDs, right? The Android virtual devices. And I'm not sure if you, I think you can change the simulator, that iOS simulator should be possible to change to iOS watch. And with that, you should be able to actually debug the whole thing. Let me check if that is correct. But it should be possible, I think. But watches are all every time a bit difficult because I think they have some problems. External display, devices. But I don't know anymore. I think you have to Google that. I think that should be the easiest way to find out how that works. Yeah, but as I said, in Android Studio, if you want to do it for Android watches, that should be pretty easy because you just create a virtual device for it, and I think there should be somewhere a watch, if I'm not wrong. Maybe I am wrong. No, don't know anymore. But yeah, you will find that. If you Google for that a bit around, you will actually find a lot. Okay. So the next step would be the watches. I think the watches watch. So we have here the to-do. Move that after the event started. Give it a better message. So this is all stuff that I want to do before we release the runner actually into the master branch. So that's why I add all these to do, because at the end I try to remove all of them before we start with that. Then what we have to do is we have to actually get all these tests from chapter 1 assert and chapter 2 about strings into our application, that everything is working. It takes a bit editing on native project to run apps on watch. I don't know actually, can we not? Apple Watch Flutter. So there is even a complete description inside of flutter.dev, so I'm pretty sure this should be possible. Flutter support, but look at that, there is also an open issue. Maybe there is still something working on. So it is still open, so there is no support yet. That could help you. Nope. I can't see your Medium link. I said I think that Google is pretty complete. That my YouTube is a bit broken with that at the moment with these links. Don't know why. Sorry for that. Okay. Where I am now, I'm completely here. So what do we have else? We have to transfer them all back to the other thing. I think if you have a link for that, is it this one maybe from Rafael Faraz? Then I can just post it for you. Else I don't know how you can send links at the moment, I'm sorry. Let me check something. I've made a mistake and now my YouTube is completely shut off. That's not good. Yep. And here, just a minute. Up. Ah, yeah, this stream's working. Up and go live. So, up. So we need Bisbas, all right. Is it about Flutter watches? Yeah. Yeah, just Twitter it to me, then I can take it by that. I think that's the easiest way at the moment. Yep. Cool. So, and then we want to have all these information into our, so transfer them into real Dart files with asserts. Because, or not this, but this one. Because the problem is the normal tests are working with these information like group and test, right? Which was pretty easy to use, but the problem is that the order in which the tests are running is not fixed. And this is what I want to change with the with the build runner, or with the test runner here in my case. Okay, send to Twitter, so I can have that. Check. Okay, yep, anyway, I think that should be fine. So, here we go. Okay, so that's that, here we are. So let's start with cleaning up the variable names, right? Because C is really bad, so this is actually rename symbol is F2, all right, for the next time, class mirror. And what do we have else? We have here about assert methods. I think I can't say that, because right now we get just the reflection of one class. But in the future we will have multiple of them, right? So that's getting also interesting. Support multiple classes. So this will be more methods, right? Not about assert methods. Or learning path methods. Let's write it together. Something like that. And it will contain all the methods that we want to execute, right? Cool. Then is not true. We have is not error. Is true. All right. And do we get an error? Yeah, and then we set it to false. Okay, and with that the while loop is getting broken. That's or getting stopped. That's good. And the index is we don't have any more learning paths that we want to run. That's fine. Cool. I'm asking myself if we couldn't do that as a for each just. For me, it is no problem to post any links, right? So I can do that very easily. Or Command C, Command V. Absolutely. There is something that I wanted to try today. So that was this, what was the name? Brush something? Yeah, here we go. Screen Brush. My new tool that I installed for this location. So I can do now this stuff and also introduce something that I click. So maybe if there is something that I want to present to you, then remember me that I use that. All right. So we have that, we run that, we test our lines, we have this Koans. We have to is not error. Sounds so weird. I don't know, is there better naming? While there is no error, and if there is not error, let's make it positive just, right? Is error, so now we have to turn that. And I think, why is this just true? No, I think I can't change that. So if is error, I can just make that default false, or and is no error. So and then I turn that around, and here I turn it also around and make it true. I think it's easier to read. With that we reflect our classes, that's perfectly fine, I need that to do. So and the index is 0. So and my question is now, can I not make just a for each method where I don't say while? Because I think if all the learning path methods are running through, then I don't want to rerun that, right? But I think for each is not a good idea. Maybe a for loop would be good enough. Yeah, it's okay for now, but this could be to do change maybe to a for loop. So you see, as in every good project, we have a lot of open construction sites that we want to work on. Then we have a map entry about symbol and method mirror, and I think I can just say here var. That should be fair enough. Should be pretty good. What I understand, do we have pedantic? Yeah, we have pedantic. But that should be executed. Why is it not there? Oh, maybe it is and I just don't see it. That could be. Okay. So what's next? We have these entries. We get here entries from a list, all right. And we make index ++. Entry value simple name. This is the name of the method to string. Contains something, and then we get the about assert class. That will be difficult because now we create all the different classes. Interesting. So this is about asserts. IM is, what is IM? That would be the instance mirror. Okay. So this is the real. What do we get with that? We get all the assert, all the methods inside of this assert, I assume, right? So this would be the methods. And now we invoke entry keys. So all the names of the different parts. Okay. Pretty interesting. And then if something happens, like an error, we write that down and stopping the loop. So that means after we come to the first error, we stop the loop. We don't do anything further. Cool. And that's the reason why we couldn't see the first issue, the second issue. If we are here, for example, and we have here an issue, must not be null. Boolean expression must not be null. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we have to initialize that in the Dart runner, that this one is false. I thought that's the default value. Maybe I was wrong. So, and we have to restart our runner. So, and we still see nothing. No, here, down here we get the error. False is to true. So if we go to our Koan and change that to true, we will see the second error, right? Because our watcher is running again. It checks everything inside, and then it shows us the second test that is failing. Awesome. Okay, next steps. These are the methods. We invoke the different methods on the entry key. Is it the methods? No, I think this is the reflection of the class, or this is an instance mirror. Points on web is not. Sorry? Points on source the website, and the website source is from Streamlabs itself. It's just like a click builder where I don't really have any control about it. So if it's not getting upgraded or something, I can't do a lot about it. It's really just about them, how they work their stuff through, and I just used it so that I don't have so much worry with it at the end. Sorry, as I said, it's still in the morning. Okay, but now our this part is a bit weird. I think I should rename that. I don't like that. What is that actually? That is the reflects an instance. So it is really the instance of that part. So what I should do instead of invoking these different things is calling this, instead of methods, it is the instance. So I call that instance, and we invoke the entry keys. And as far as I know, the entry keys coming from entry, learning path methods, entries to list. The time at us is 10 in the morning, so 10 a.m. And it's Saturday, so I had slept well, and now cool. Okay, so but great, we get our stuff. So let's try to start the next thing and get all the about asserts parts inside of here. I think that should be the easiest one, right? So we have should expect true, hint replace word false with true. Can we make this error message down here a bit more speakable so that our future users will have a better read here? That would be maybe amazing. So instead of error happened, blah, 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 failed assertion line, I think that's pretty good. But it would be even better if we could say something like Koan about assert failed or something like that. I own the domain, but the website itself is from Streamlabs, so I just use that. So Koan about asserts. What I wanted to do is exactly the error message. So whenever I see here, I call at the moment error happened with E, and I directly post the error message. But what I could do is like, if we take a look into how my favorite Python Koans is doing it, they write first the name of the test, and then has expanded your awareness is if it is positive, if everything worked well. Can we change some text automatically in every app start? Can we change some text automatically in every app start? Which app start? Yet now from the Koans, or of course you can do that. You just say random text or something. Exactly. Okay. Has damaged your karma, for example. So what we would do is instead of this, we would write here has damaged your karma, and we have to get the name of the entry key that was running. Now I don't know if this will work. Has destroyed your karma. So now let's see how this will look like. It's a bit sad that the red color is not here, right? I would really love that if this would be possible. I really have to take an eye on the process manager. Maybe we can improve that somehow, that we don't have to use the std out, that we can just print line it. It would be fantastic. Okay, but now we enter that out and we see the symbol Koans has destroyed your karma. And it would be fantastic if we get not the key, it would be the simple name is the name, I think. entry value dot simple name. What do we get from that? Up, we save again, we restart the whole thing. In which language is Flutter written? I think in Dart, or not? Yeah, and the architecture is Sphere, if I remember that right. So now we get Koans about asserts. That's pretty close to that. Is Dart written in itself? Could be, I think so. Dart, GitHub. I think there we can find everything about that. And if we take a look into the SDK, it looks pretty much like Dart. So it is written in itself, Python a little bit, mostly C++ is interesting. So there's still a lot about that, but that's for sure because we have to surround that to the other channels, right? Yeah, so pretty interesting. I like this feature from GitHub to see in which languages is something written. And the SDK is mostly everything that is part of it. And I think all the packages from Dart is written in Dart, besides of the language part. Yeah, sorry, I'm always happy with this part. So now, how do I get rid of the symbol here in front? That's interesting that we get the simple name, so I thought that should do already the trick, but somehow it does unfortunately not. So why do we get this symbol? So we get the symbol here, and most likely, wait, what I'm doing, it's just to string or not. So if I rerun the whole thing, no, still not. Okay, so this is that. We get the entry, and we have the value and the key. And both of them are, if I'm correct, symbols. Yes, unfortunately it does just take the Koan. Right now I'm trying to get rid of the symbol in front of the whole thing. Yeah, I think the problem here is it is not really a string, right? So entry.key is a symbol and not a string. So it is, yeah, of course, K, thank you for that, but I think it is a symbol. And yeah, it doesn't provide me the function to do that. Huh. Can I do that as a string? And then, no, it's getting red. But I can do to string, and then we have to get rid of the stuff. So how would I do that? I would replace, or better remove, split by everything, and then remove where, and now we have to use regex. But do we really have to be that complicated? It sounds somehow weird. I have the name already. It shouldn't be too hard, or not? If I get the entry.value, we get also the these entries are kv, of course. Where do we get them? Up here, and this comes from, it's a symbol to method mirror. Okay, and both of them cannot get me an easy name. That sounds weird. This returns me a symbol, and the symbol contains empty. Okay, new symbol, string name. It would be fantastic to get the name from it. Value.name maybe? The fully qualified name is also a symbol. Okay, let's see if the internet knows something. Dart symbol, get name. No, it is still there, but that's why I use the different part here, the different microphone, in the hope that you don't hear it so loud. Mirror serve against symbols instead of regular strings. Okay, all the text. Let's see where we are. Okay, so we stick with that. Yeah, it seems still to be working. Unwrap symbol, we get a symbol inside. Internal symbol, get unmangled name. Jeez. That sounds brutal. So is it really like that? Or did I wrote wrong? I'm not sure, but it... Use dart mirrors. Okay, so sadly this will not work that easy. So what could we do? We really have to get a better name, or we have to untangle the name more or less. I don't know. Should we look? Or apple.com? I think it will cost a lot, as always. This is the newest. Wait, let's see for the... you see, I can't even buy my one anymore. These Macs. Yeah, we really have to use it. It's a shame, I think. So what do we see here? 16 inches to 8, but this looks like an English shop at the moment. So is there apple.de maybe? It is so expensive, really. Stick with a Windows machine if you don't have to work with iOS stuff. Yeah, 3,000 euros, so it's quite a lot. Okay, back to the work. We have the simple name, and now we have to really do... I would write a method for that, of course. So here we have... I think I can do it like here. I just created like we return a string and get unmangled or remove symbol from remove symbol from symbol. Clean up symbol name or create symbol string. And what we get is a string, or better a symbol. And what we want to do is getting from that working string equals symbol dot to string. And the working string, we have to get rid now a lot of stuff. So first of all, we need a regex expression. And I think we have this to make it clean. And now write para for the name. Yeah, I can do that. You mean here, up here, or you mean down here? In the meantime, I do what I always do if I work with regex. So regex tester. That's not what I want. Wow, JetBrains is really everywhere. So good. Okay, and we add that. And what I want to do is I want to get rid of everything like this. And something in between this. So it should be paragraph. You mean up here. The thing is, what I want to do is but I can also take the right line, but this we will make later. But to clean up the name, I would call here the create symbol string and then give inside the entry.value key, for example. And it should return me the string that we really want to have, so that we can replace this part, this part with that, and then it should show us the right string here. And then we return a new string. Why should I remove it with something else than regular expression? I think it should work pretty fine, right? Because we just search with this underscore names and everything else should be gone. No? Do we have a better option? I think I could also just remove, like start from the first, I could split by something. Oh, that's a good idea, I have an idea. So what we could do is just split it by the pattern and now I have to use this nice ones by the pattern double quotes. And now we would split that in the middle and in the beginning and the end. Exactly, perfect image. And then we would just remove the first and the last part. So remove last and remove, let's make that with something like that. And remove 0. You're right, I didn't thought that far, but well done. And the best thing is I can just return the whole thing. So is that not a string anymore? Ah, no, of course not. I have to join it. Yep, voila. Now that's pretty easy because we want to return always the string, right? So we have a string. Wait, no, we have what I'm talking. No. Now I get confused. Okay, this will not work. Sorry, not PF, and it's off. Ah, okay. I think the double points are for, we split the whole thing, so we get an arrow with different letters or different parts, right? And because I want to keep this reference, right? I want to change and remove the last one, but I would get the new, I think the remove list is immutable or mutable. I'm not sure about that. It is immutable. So we get Boolean back, right? If it happened or not. And this is not what I want to get back. I would like to get back I would like to get back the array again. And then I remove the first one. So I get back the array once again. And now we have here the var. This is the working array, I would call it. And now we can say working array, for example, dot join. And yeah, I think I have to pass something in, or yeah, no, cool. Return. I should use one instead of last and first. Why? Should not do the trick. Let's see. Just to pass down everything and take a look. Ah, okay. So remove 0 didn't work. Okay, that's sad. Maybe it doesn't work like I expected it. Ah, so this is how you mean it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's right. Let's drink a cup of coffee. And with that, of course, we don't need join and we don't need the work array here. That's perfect. Just return everything and voila. Here we go, perfect. And then we can take again, we can go away from the regex, that's true. Way too complicated. And then what can we say? Has damaged your karma, and then you have not reached yet alignment. So the idea is to give them an overview of what they have not done yet. So in our tests, your things are going false, no. Manager spawn, we are running the whole thing. So what we could do is, how would that work? They also return something if it was positive, right? That is maybe also interesting. So if it was positive and everything worked well, in fact, I don't have to create a string. I don't even need that symbol, right? Can even remove more. Hey Ganesh, how are you? So what would that be looking like? I could take that, would put everything here. Remove that, we split that, get this part, we remove this. We return all that. Would I still keep that method? I think I would keep that method because it would look pretty ugly up here. So with that, we have at least here a nice little method. And this one would be even private. Cool. Happy with that image? So now we want to also return the value tests. So we write our std write line, and we say, I don't know if we need that red wrap anymore. I think it is just boilerplate that we don't need. Would be something like this. Can add that. Because if we can make it red anyway, then it makes no sense to have that. Cool. And now we write here the lines where we just have something positive. Absolutely correct. And I think what I want to do is make that a fat arrow even. I think that should be even better. Okay. Cool. But that's why we are working together here, right? So that's perfect. I don't see everything, so it's always helpful if you give me some hints for that. Cool. So now what I want to do is do it more or less exactly the same like here. So we have the test that we are running through. Whoa, was it again? It's so loud. Okay. Absolutely. All right, let me think about it. We have that std write line, and here we can add some more stuff. We want to give now the same thing, so we create like this. Now we use, yeah, but I'm happy that we gave you something that you can use, right, with that symbols, because I was a bit sad that you have all these nice points, but you can't use them actually. That was a bit sad. So we give that, and then has expanded your awareness. I just copy that for now. And now I have to check if I'm even allowed to, if this is an MIT license. Where's the license? Ah, perfect. So it is an MIT license, so it is allowed to copy the stuff, so don't worry. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that not everyone is starting to push me with these noises, because then else I would get crazy, I think, if I all the time hear that cheer sound. Okay, and now if everything works well, we run that thing. Our users would see still just that part. That's not good. Why wouldn't they see the write line on before of the invocation? Did I make something wrong? I saved here, I saved here. There is someone who is drilling at the moment in our house, so this is the nice little sound that you hear. I think we had some water damage in the house below of us. Now they try to clean it up. So sorry for that. I know why. This is just happening in the mirror. No, that should be fine. It should work. I know why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because we don't have a fixed test yet. We just have broken tests, right? So what we can see now is we really get that expanded your awareness. So we can really fix the tests one by another, and we get the information. Hey, you did it. You do a good job here. I'm really happy with that solution yet. Now the only thing is I really would love to make that colorful a bit, but I think that is not possible. What could we do? We could maybe add this std line once more on top of it, just to give an empty string inside. And then we would, no, we would add here not an empty line, but maybe something like thinking about, and then we would also take the create symbol again, create symbol string, and the symbol would be in that case the about assert. Is there a simple name to that? About assert? Well, I think I put that first outside. Sorry for the background noises. Hopefully it's getting better soon. So we have that class mirror. Maybe that has a simple name. So class mirror dot simple name dot. We don't need to string method, right? But what? And we give that pass through. That's perfect. We take that again, put it here. So and now we make one std out. Wait, I think we have to make that once, and we have to do that before we start a new class, right? So while we have the learning path methods inside, I think we would create that somewhere up here before we even start with the lesson. And now it should get a bit cleaner. We should get more information. So we are thinking about about asserts, and our users know now, okay, this is the part where they are working at the moment, and then there is coming the Koan's assert has destroyed your comma. And so the user will know, okay, you are in chapter 1, and then you have to fix this part here. And I think we should rename that class from about assert to something else, maybe to chapter 1 about assert or something, or we keep it about assert. I'm not sure yet. Could we do something funky? So if I'm creating a static information here like string and give it a name, for example, and then we would add something like, let's say about chapter 1 about asserts. And now we would take this name. It's sad how front-end oriented I am. As soon as I see, even it is a terminal, I think, we could make that a bit cleaner. It could be more beautiful. I'm sorry for that. So if you get annoyed by that, then we can do something else. So we remove that ANSI part here. And what I wanted to do is now taking that knowledge about this about asserts, which we have an instance reflection, and I don't know, this reflection contains the static name? I don't know yet. We have here the class mirror and the instance members, and this gives us a method mirror. What do we get else from the class mirror? Do we have here also the possibility to get field? Yes. Invokes a getter, returns a mirror on the result. Because what I'm thinking is that every class will have these naming, and if we call the method, the class as a mirror, then we recreate that naming. That would be fantastic. Get field. And the field name would be name. Oh, do we have to pass a real name inside, or what does he expect as a get field? Symbol field name, okay. Remove stub scope and private members is capability. Or what else could we do is just taking this, because it is and try something like, where do we do that? It would be up here. Instead of doing this, we would just use that for here now, because we just have the about asserts, but maybe later we have a list of different types, and then we just use them as the way to go. I think that would be also a good idea. Okay, so let's just change maybe later to a for loop that we can do, and we run that thing again. That seemed not to work. Getter not found name. Does it has to be a getter here? About asserts static string. Do I have something wrong again? Okay, I'll try that once more. Unable to spawn isolate. Okay, maybe this is a problem. Okay, let's assume this would not work. at least not like this. I have to make more ideas about that before I start with that. So let's restart that. It's okay. Sorry for that. And okay, so let's see. How would that look in a PowerShell? I don't have a PowerShell, but in a terminal. If we open that up and we also join that, that folder, so we go to our, where do we have that? In development, I assume. And here we have the, so many projects, I think, was it here? Yeah, CD Dart Koans. And inside of here, we can run now Dart. Yeah, that's Windows, exactly. And I have to increase the font size here. So, main.dart. So, and as you see here, it looks already pretty good, right? So we have the watcher, we have some thinking. It would be a bit better if we make more lines through it, but that should be already in a pretty good state at the end. And what I can do is copy that line, give it a little empty string. So with that, we have a separation here. And the same thing we can do. Maybe we can even clear the terminal whenever we rerun the watcher. That would be maybe also an idea. Because what is a bit annoying at the moment is if we are watching the whole thing, and for example, I change now the about assert values here from false to true to true, and I rerun that, hopefully, yep. Then what we can see is that the watcher is just taking a next step and run it again. But I think with that empty line, it's already much better. It would be fantastic if we can change the font colors. I really have to take a look into that. But the problem is that we are living in that process manager and we return that values. So let's have a look. Where do we get? We make an std out, and I think somewhere we have to wait for this, right? So we call that here, path relative. Yeah, that's fine. Watcher is watching. Can we even give there? Dart print colors. You need to print escape sequences, okay? Okay, with ANSI. So we can use the ANSI package here. Let's have a look. Color library for Dart. Feel like you are missing some color in your terminal programs. Yes. Use ANSI pen to add ANSI color codes to your log messages. Perfect. Color disabled is a global variable for all pen colors. Okay, example. Be mindful of contrasting colors, of course. What do we have here? We have the ANSI pen where we get the color inside and then we just write it down and it looks like this. That would be pretty awesome, I think, or it would exactly solve our problem. So let's have a look if this is working. So we take the package into our pubspec.yaml, put it here. And now what we are doing is we just take that example and try if it works. And let's start with that in the main.dart here, where we have that ANSI pen now. We import that. Pen dot. Right? Oh yeah. And now we would just add the message like here. Oops. And here we go. Finish that off. And the pen, I think white is a bad color in that case. So let's take the green for now. And let's see how that works in our command line. Close that off, starting it up again. So if everything is right, the watcher is watching should be now green. Okay, it's even worse, it's now gone. We have to print it once. Okay, we have to print the whole thing. So pen, bright colors in front text, this is text default. Okay, so what we will do is just print this pen part. Yep, try it again. Wow, exactly what I want. And now I just need that at the right position. Hopefully this is working. But this is pretty awesome because now we can really have like colorful windows and everything inside of our terminal. So what I will do is I just copy this information and remove all of that inside here, because the watcher is watching is just for us at the moment as a debug message, right? So debug, watcher is watching. I could even remove it, but maybe change it to something more speakable, like, hey, you started your Koans, or welcome to your Koans, or something like that, to make an introduction to our story, which would be fantastic. And in our runner, is he done now? So we have this std out write line, right? So this whole part needs to send his information somewhere, I thought. Or how does it work with that std out? Can I do a print here in that area? I don't think so, right? So this would not work. At least I think that would be too easy. No. Ah, shoot. Why do I use this print out stuff? If this is working, why do I not use the print? Let us check that. If this is working, I can remove a lot of weird stuff. So we have that pen, we surround our text with it, and we run that again. Okay. Okay, what were we thinking? Was there a reason for that, or was it now just a mistake? Interesting. Okay, so that means all of that stuff is a print. Yes, so cool, because that is way easier to understand and way easier to work with. So perfect, we can now wrap this part with green, right? And the best thing is we initialize that once. We give here, what is wrong with that? This is that part, and there the pen needs to be finished, of course. Cool. And the second thing is inside of our error messages, where we want to have that. And this one is not even green, this is just white. It would be just in our positive case where we make something green. So whenever there is something positive, we are here, and then we would go here inside and say print this whole thing with the pen. Voila. And now this will be green, and for the error case we do exactly the same thing, call that red, and here we would also replace that by a print and give the pen surrounding it. Yes, that's cool, love it. Ah, nice. That is amazing for our customers, because that is now so good. He can understand everything, it works well. That is so amazing, I love that. So we add that, we get 2 green ticks, everything is working. Amazing. So now my coffee is empty, finally. And I added somewhere as a new thing that we can remove. I saw that right now. So in our runner, I think up here I added a colon to a bracket too much. Okay, but this is working. Ah, that's fantastic. Jeez, it's so good. All right. Sorry, I'm excited. Such stuff is so cool. What time is it actually? I don't even know how long we are streaming already. Not that I'm doing here the whole day, because later there is a second stream. Not that I'm getting confused with everything. We are... Where do I find the... What time is it? It's 11 already. Wow. Alright guys, that's cool. We managed already a pretty large step, I think, with that assertions now with the colorful part. And now we have to think a bit further. As I said, I want to finish now the tests. That should be pretty much easy, because the most of them are already existent, and I just have to copy them and maybe give them some better messages. Because what I saw is if we get an error, the user will not fix that, right? Because he will maybe find the solution, he will maybe find the class with that about asserts, but to make him easier to understand what he has to fix, I would do that nearly the same like it is done from the Python Koans, right? So they write them once more. You have not reached enlightenment because there is an error, right? I don't know if we can separate that out, maybe in the future. But what we can do is actually give him a hint where the, or give him the whole error. And yes, for that, I will do the part on the Dart Koans, and down here we just print the an empty string because we want to have a line break here. And now we add something like exactly give him a message like what he has to do for the next parts. Do we have to yeah, I think we have that for every error message. So at the moment we would do here something like, please think about the following. And then there comes the print method with the error message. And the error is just E. So what we will do is E. Okay. And because we want to have that also in a different pen, right? Because red, we would like to have that in, this is the pen error. Here we go. And this is the pen warning. And this would be yellow or a darkish yellow. I don't know if we find something like that. I take yellow at the moment. Koans, well, Koans is a way to learn a programming language. And there are multiple of them. So if you search for Koans, you will find like Buddhistic thing from riddle or puzzle. That is the original idea of it. And so you should think about your process. And if you talk with a programming language, like we want to learn C# now, right? So I'm searching for C# Koan and I find multitude, right? A lot of them. But let's take just the first one because I'm lazy at the moment. And what you can see is they usually provide tests for the whole thing, right? So for example, about asserts. So how does asserts working in C#? And then you go through these different steps, like assert true, and try to fix these things, right? So you as a learner would go to that, clone the repository. I would say here something like git clone and take the repository and put it now somewhere. Up. Take a second. We open it in a new window, of course. And the cool thing is now really that you can run these Koans and you learn the problems by solving these issues. And where the idea comes from, I don't know, I think Ruby Koans were the first Koans that they did. And I did, a friend of mine introduced me to them and I used them in presentations. And when someone wanted to learn JavaScript, for example, I was going with them through the Koans so that they learn the language in a more depth without that I don't have to explain everything, because at the end here is everything, right? So assert true, of course I have to set it to true. If I have to read text and I understand everything, I get better and better with every test that I fix. So I like it a bit more than all the platforms that are existent because they are for free. And at the end, it's just plain code, right? There is nothing behind it. There is no magic or something. And whoa, now I made a mistake. I closed Visual Studio. This one's the wrong one. I need that one. Okay. I hope this explains or answers the question. Cool. And further, now I want to add the tests, as I said. So we don't need them. Please think about the following. Okay, that means if I have that now with the warning, then we would use the pen warning and surround the E with that. And this is yellow. Okay, so go. Not completely good. It's not a subtype of type string. Okay, so that needs to be a message or something. To string maybe just could work already. Hey, here we go. So we managed it to show our users now even what is going on and where they have to look at, because now they find the file path. And the best thing is, because it is part with the packages part, we even see exactly which file the people has to look at. So they can even copy that thing and find all the libraries. I don't have to separate that from these topping parts. That is exactly what I wanted to see, because that solves a lot of issues for my users already. Because when I use these Koans, at the beginning, I didn't know what to do, right? I needed some explanations. And as I explained it now to you, I should write the story on top of it. Like, hey, welcome to the Koans. Do you want to start? Do you want to break? Of course, I can imagine that they have already started with learning some problems with that. But yeah, that would be fantastic. And the good thing is, for me, it's just some tests that I write. And I think the idea for Dart Koans, I also add that down here, is from Buttermat. He created already a lot of them. But my problem with the Dart Koans that he created was actually that the tests from him were real tests. And what happened with real tests is, what I said is that the order in which the tests are running are in completely wild order. And with that, it's very hard to learn, because you can't tell a story like, hey, you have to do this first, right? You want to make first assertions before you go to the next chapter or something like that. But he introduced the first part of it, and as you can see, it's already a pretty long time ago. So, and because he didn't edit a license, and I highly encourage you, if you create a GitHub repository, please add a license, because else nobody knows if you can use it. And because he didn't edit a license, I can't use anything that he created. So I can't copy anything, I can't use it, because else maybe he started some stuff with me. Okay. But as you can see, my part should be, now I'm talking so much about licenses, so let's have a look to my place into the Dart Koans. I think, I added an MIT license, so you are ready to go to copy and recreate and work with it like you want. It's all up to you. Cool. Okay, so we have this part, we have that, we have this part. Fantastic. Now let's start with what I actually wanted to do. So we can tell this story right now into, maybe we can even create like a story creator for us who makes these first comments for him. Like, lesson 1 is this, lesson 2 is this. And this is the lesson, this is the journey begins. Maybe we could even add in the future something like a hint option, right? That we can, if this is a problem, that we give him some option to enter a code here, like a hint or something. And when he enters this, that he get a hint from us, like, hey, you should look there and there or something like that. But this is future music, right? Let's stick with what we have. Okay, so the next part, also type is important. So we have the possibility to set var, and then check that is string and number. So we copy all of these information. This is a test. The test goes till here. Yeah, perfect. So I take all of that, go back to my chapter 1 reflection at the moment, and add that here. No, and I have to create a new Koan. I don't know what the name is from that. Also, the type is important. So type important. We write the method for that, and now we put all that stuff inside. And here we can use expect anymore because we don't have a test, but we can use an assert. And now we can have, instead of reason, we have now to validate these information. So real value versus expected value. And I think I can just make it like that, because and I should maybe keep the reason or as a hint or something, at least for now, because we don't have the hint somewhere else. We just add that here. So, and as you can see now, we have a string up there, which is dynamic created, and it will obviously not be correct and will throw an error, hopefully. So assert and voila. So let's run that again. Now I have to fix the test above. Cool. And yes, we get the error message, failed the assertion, real expected is not true. And this is absolutely fair enough. So what we have to do here is, for example, to fix that, to make that a string. So to string would be an option. If we do that, that should rerun actually, or not. Yeah, I think they are finished, hopefully now. The problem is we have really problematic walls, I think. Hey Moyed, how are you? Hope you are well. Oh, I don't have coffee anymore. That's tough. Okay, but this is still not true, so maybe I should check here what is if I'm writing true. They are still working. Okay, now we get everything is green. Perfect. So why is that not working? I hope this is 2 and this is 2, so 2 to string should be true. Interesting. It seems that I'm on a bad path. I think this one here is now for 2 hours. I think I will stop at 11:30. I think that should be fine. And then this afternoon I will make the second stream, so I have like a short break and then can work there further. And this one could be int.parse and add the real value. This is the string. The other one will be also around about 2 hours. At least this is the plan right now. If it's getting longer, you know, it could be longer. Depends also on how much fun I have, how much I can interact with you, how everything is working out, and so on and so forth, you know, the same. Okay, so this is working. We have the next test ready to go. And what I will do is I will remove them, I think, at the moment. This is what I need. Much better. I can also make that full screen, then can swap easier. Okay. So where are we? About asserts? Yes, then we have this done. This is done. Now this part here. Congratulations. Okay, this is it already with the assertions. Maybe I can add one more if you like, then you can swap between the two. Perfect, I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy that you use it. Okay, so void, then we have this part. This is now, that's a good question. Do we actually want that? It would be maybe better if we are finished that we do something completely different. Can we do that? So if we are here in our main.dart, no, in our Koans runner, then we have all of that, right? So we have our try, we have this if part. I think it would be after that while loop. So if this is running through, we are done. So I could do something like, yeah, I know, but still for me, why is it too long? That's just, I don't know, 16 hours, you know? I will do every week a live stream, so maybe a month. So what's the plan here? Let me think. We have the print. Maybe I also reduce the prices a little bit. I don't know yet. It's just trying a bit around, you know. As I said, the stream is new. The channel is still pretty small, so I also have to understand how everything is working, and then we are increasing. Maybe we get even stickers. Hey Pekka, welcome to the family. Okay, so print, right? Let me think. Well, it is huge compared to very small channels, but it's really small compared to all channels on YouTube living, right? So, and even for technical channels, I think with 2000, I'm still like a very, very small channel, which is fair enough. I mean, I want to learn everything, and if we grow together and I can learn better, and if I can improve everything better, then it makes more fun for all of us. That's fantastic. I love to hear that, really. Okay, so if we are here down and we manage it to, I don't know, the problem is at the moment I don't have multiple classes, I just have one. The whole thing is just working for one single class, right? So if this one class is done, which is down here, then we want to give him like, congratulations, you did this task, or this part is done. So we will create a pen for that, I think, again, with a cool color. Yep, ANSI pen, and then we give a print where we say pen, and this is the pen congratulations, or pen success. And this pen success gets the message, congratulations, your next path is, and then we want to enter here like the next path, what will come next. And I think here at the moment was, oh look at that. You can try it, but I'm pretty sure it will work. At least if you take some time, because I think Streamlabs will take time to get the information and then send it back. Oh, as you wish, as you please, if you are happy with it. It's just if it's getting spammy, I have to think about to make also the subscriptions out, but I think it's fine for now. So assert, no, we wanted to work in Dart Koans, and this is actually one thing that I want to do, but actually we have to add that as a Koan. Didn't even check that, but this is a test, right? Yeah, do it, it's all right. Looking forward to see the result. So, and here we have that. We have to add Koan, and I think what we could do here, enter values to succeed. Succeed? Yeah, I think that's the name. Good. And then we have like, I think I can just take this information here. As I said, I think if you are too fast, it will not understand it, or it will take its time till it gets the information to me that you have subscribed, or something like that. So also here we say assert, congratulations is the same like this. And we are done here. We assert that, and if an error occurs, it will happen. Fill, and I can even make that vice versa. I think it's easier for all the, it's a bit tough for all the countries that are having left to right reading or right to left reading. But what I will do is like fill me in. Then everyone knows exactly, okay, here he has to work on. Oh, and look at that, because we have a watcher, it immediately understands that this exists. Oh, it's so good. I'm so happy with it. It's such a good idea. Love it. The question is if this is I keep it like that. So don't worry, I will not use a fat arrow here because I don't return anything in the first place. And the second thing, I don't want to, how do I call that? I don't want to confuse the users here because they are new to that whole topic. So it would be difficult to understand fat arrows already. Okay. But this is working, and now the last part is well done, and here is just the printing of the stuff. And this is actually what I want to have in the reflection. So in our Dart Koans here, when we print our success, it would be that part that I want to show. And I think this expect I don't need actually. And then here we would have the next chapter that we want to run. And here we give just a short message. And instead of first lesson, I would give the class, I think. Let me think about it. I take that. I remove this, and we'll call that here pen success. Voila. Add the whole part. And now your first selection was no, we will just add here the name of the class mirror dot simple name, and then from the method that we created. That's perfect. I think I'm pretty happy that you have tested that. On the other hand, I'm not sure if you would test it, if you would do it now and unsubscribe, and you would be unsubscribed till tomorrow and would subscribe then again. I think then it would be recognizing it again, maybe. But it's not worth testing it, I think. I'm very happy that you have subscribed, so don't do weird stuff. So we have the simple name, we are successful with that simple name. And you completed simple name successful. And the next gate has opened for you, something like that. I don't know. I want to make it a bit more gamification, that it's also fun for the users to use that whole thing. Okay, how does it look like? If I restart the whole thing, you can see we didn't finish it off. I don't know, there are some people, and I think I can understand them. It's somehow different, it's a different thing how I work. So it's not for everyone, right? To just talk about Flutter, Dart, programming. It's a bit boring sometimes. Okay, so you completed. So the problem is now that we do that even if we haven't succeeded. So that means we have to have like an if statement here. If successful, or if class is, no, if chapter finished successful. Chapter finished. Yes, I think that's a good name. Is chapter finished? Or check if chapter finished. I think that's good. And then we add that whole part here inside. And this boolean that I will create up here, bool check, is false at the beginning. And when we don't have any more entries here, that should be found here, value simple name, entry. When do we know that? We try these. I think what I can do is I keep that. I will, for every try where we make something successful, we call that here to true. But if we have once this part and we added that, then we set it to false. And I don't even need that. I see right now. Oh. They are even not eligible for... Thank you, Hamish. It's great to hear that, really. I really appreciate it that you like our content. So and we don't even need that because we have that is no error. And the good thing is, if there is no error, then everything is fine. Is no error is true, but actually there is an error. That makes no sense. So is error. Right? So as long there is no error, then we want to access that. Maybe. The chat latency is maybe very minor. I don't know how big day is, but I think maybe 20 to maybe 5 seconds max. It depends on the internet connection sometimes, so it could vary. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. Okay, so we don't see it, but if I fix now the last test and I say here, we just fill here in the congratulations part, and I save the whole thing, we completed it, successful, cool. Just to make it a bit more beautiful, we would add, of course, a print statement. Yep, just to make that, voila. Amazing. And now we just, the pen success should be maybe having a different color. Maybe let's have it giving it green color. Or, yeah, I think that's fine for now. I don't know. It would be great if we have also ANSI ticks or something. Can we, let's have a look if we have like ANSI icons. common features. $11.11. Oh yeah, it's $11.11. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 11:11. The time check has passed. Okay, Flutter barcode. This is not what I want. It's Can I have ANSI icons somehow? Is there something like that? I don't think that is 5 seconds. It is maybe a bit smaller, but as soon as I'm doing something, then it works. I would like to have like a short tick in front of all the successful parts. So that would be fantastic. I don't know if I can do that. I have to think about that. Is there not that symbol if I write something? So ANSI check mark? Don't know. There is. So maybe I can copy that. And if I add that now here, is that positive? Yes. So, and if I have a cross, wow, now it's getting loud. I'm so sorry. Let's see if I can take that too. And let's see how it turns out. That's pretty cool. So let's see if we go to the chapter and I remove that one again to fill me in. It's broken, we get a cross. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I don't know if there is also like cheer or happy or something. I don't know. Or celebrate. Or what we can do is we can also write something like this. Don't know if you know that guy. Or there's, I think also this guy. I don't know even how to do that with this keyboard. I take that one. So what we can do is, instead of doing this, when we are finished with all of our tests and they are running fine, then we can just add here down here, add the pen successful, something like this. So that our users gets like a reward for working so hard on these tests. What I will do is now, instead of having this, I comment that out. True. So I think I'm a bit faster with that. Ooh, this looks scary. No, we don't do that. But if you have a good idea how we can make like a reward for our users, I think that would be fantastic. We can add that here in our terminal and we come further with that. Okay. So next operation of orders. Do we have any open to-dos? So we have to change that in the loop. Copying this emoji, which one? All right, I cannot. Okay, so with the Dart Koans here in place, and this is running fine. So this is all for one class at the moment. Await send, okay. So we have this to-do support multiple class. This is very important for our Koan. The 100%, I can try that. Whew. But somehow I can't imagine that ANSI will make that. Wow! That's fantastic! Is it also possible with the cheer or with the party? Will we do this? I can't imagine, or that would be too great. That's fantastic. Thank you, Amish. That's a cool thing. So I thought there would be cheer or something like a party. Is there not? the party popper. I think that is the famous one if you successfully did something, right? So, and maybe at the end, voila. And if we restart the whole thing and getting our green tick, fantastic. I mean, this is encouraging, right? So our users will have fun to work with these Koans and learn Dart even better every time. And I think that's pretty cool. So maybe in the front I will delete, but at the end we can maybe copy that multiple times or something. Not making it too funky. And instead of having these weird text with the gates have open for you, we just keep it with you. Let's, yeah, successful, cool, good enough. Voila. And now we have to make it multiple parts, of course. But I think for today's session, this is pretty much a very good completion. And I'm so happy that I think I will stop now. If you have any questions so far, I will answer them with pleasure. And we can work also on another topic. But I will work further on the Koans for now. I will just commit them now and be happy that we did that. So commit, writing a nice message. So what did we do today? We managed to get colors into our Koans. We updated the, what did we do actually? We updated 100 points. Maybe I should add one with 100 points exactly. Get colors in your Koans. Updated the chapter 1. Is there anything else that we did that I miss? No, too expensive, I know, no worries. Okay, update to chapter 1, and what did we also do? Improved the testing. But before I do that, I will also remove the test here completely, that we don't come into that. Oh yeah, true, I have now an own economy system. I should think about a cryptocurrency in Dart. That is maybe the next option that we can do. Oh, I hope that stops this afternoon. If this will be the whole day with then we have really a problem. Okay, what I will also do is I make the test spec to false, right? That they don't working anymore, because if someone finds our application, we want, of course, not fixed tests, right? That would make not so much sense. So I will take that off. We have this assert here. Oh, we can even have the hint here. Or maybe I should think about that once more. Amish, I'm not sure with that, because these are more or less for our users. They should learn that. If I create 3 slashes, exactly, I would do that for the documentation. Do we really want to document all of these tests? I'm not sure with that. So what I would make is, for example, I would document this main method here, or whatever method I would create for all these parts, because at the moment it's just one huge blob, right? So for this, I would do that. So that we have something like create the method name out of a symbol, or something like that. But on the other hand, I'm not sure, because it's an internal method, but we will think about it. You think so? Okay, so let's create that. Here we have the, or what I will do is in the later parts we can add the analysis options, and what we can do here is add, is it a linter rule? I'm not sure anymore. But what we can do is replacing that there. You think for all of them? Because then it's not really a documentation anymore. I mean, this is not a documentation here, it's a hint for our users. Okay, you know what? I will do that. So search and replace and do that. If you say you want to have it, who am I to be against it? So let's go and search and replace. Replace yo, do it everywhere, and Oh shoot, now we have replace 4 with 3, exactly, replace, done. So that should do the trick. And now what we can do out of that, what we can try actually is we go to the terminal, and I think it was Dart doc, right? Oof, why is the whole Dart part with it? Okay, hopefully they are not part of the documentation now, because that would be a lot. So now we have that under doc API, doc index HTML. So open it up in a Finder, I want to say. Find in Finder, here we go. No. Reveal in Finder it is. Okay, here we go. And now we can open it up. Now we have here our documentation about the whole thing, which is pretty cool. Not sure about. How does this work for package creating? What do you mean? For the Dart docs? Exactly the same. In the internals, it will just run at the end the Dart docs command. Oh, this has to be gone. Where do we have that actually? Ah, this is that part here. I think that can be removed too. So this is actually the first part that we want to do. And here we can also add like a proper documentation, like this is the first chapter about asserts. It contains all tests to solve to learn Dart asserts. Cool. And then we could do that for all the different parts. And because I'm really bad with that and don't understand anymore where I have already documentation and where not, we could do that with the analysis option. Dart analysis options. And here we will find documentation. There was something with documentation. Up. And I did that already with my own other package. So you can add that for... No, this is not what I want. I want actually... Oh, it's so difficult to find the different linter rules. Dart linting rules. Is it this one? Yeah, maybe. So document public member API docs. So this is cool. So bad, good. And with this part here, we can add that to our Visual Studio inside of the analysis options. We could say here underneath info, because I don't want to make it already a broken application, that all the parts have to be, oh no, not info, that wouldn't help, but warning maybe. Warn, and then get that part here into it. Exactly, and now you can see, can we see it already? I want to add that now, so how does it work? Document all public members. See style guide. Options, public member API. That's just a rule. It's just a rule. Without the warning, it's just a rule. So that should do it. Huh. Do I have to commit it? Linter rules, and then this one. Huh. Anyhow, okay. It should work actually. Don't know why. But with that, usually all the methods should get like some errors or a yellow line or something underneath it that we have to write the method for it. Okay, to do we keep. Hey Ashish, I'm sorry, you're right now at the end of everything. But anyway, I hope you're having a good day. We will make the next live stream this afternoon, so if you want to join, it's like in 4 hours from now, I think. But I'm right now at wrapping up. So what did we do today? We managed to create the Dart Koans, and that looks now like, no, not this, but if you run the Dart Koans at the moment, it looks like this, which is pretty fantastic. So we see our functioning tests that we've fixed, and we see our error tests that we are not fixed. And we get like a small information on how we fix the next task. And the cool thing is now, what we also should do is we want to break all our tests at the moment. So here we wanted to fix that back to false and here false. And in the future we have to write like a test that all tests are broken, if this makes sense. So we have to somehow write a test in order to make a CI/CD correct, that we can test all these things that they are broken for the users later. Okay, but what I will do is now I will commit all that stuff. So add that here and writing a nice commit message. Did we miss anything? No, I think that should be fine. So the build, no, Koan runner version 2 or version 0.2. And let's push the whole thing. The branch has no upstream branch. Yes, please create one. So, and what I will do now next is, oh, is that one not committed? Why is it red? Ah, there is an error. Eh? Ah, is it because of that here? Did I... Now it's green, okay. Huh. All right, so let's push that also up. Analyzes option, analyzes options, all right. And push that too. So if you search that for now, I would create, of course, a pull request. Not that I will merge it today, but just that we see all the different things that have been done in this part. So runner development to master is no difference. Huh? Ah, that's the preview. Where is the, ah, down here. So we can see all the changes that we did. And oh, that's a that's a no-no. We shouldn't do that. So inside of the readmes, we have now everywhere 3, but actually what we want here in this file is 2, right? So we have to remove everywhere 1. So that should be done. And what do we have else? Most likely in the contribution, yeah, and also in the licenses. Nope, there's nothing. Changelog, nope, fine. And everywhere we changed it, that was not a good idea. Okay, anyway, licenses is fine with that. pubspec.yammer has that somewhere. Oh, we can add here that homepage, so let's do that. That would be the GitHub repository of the Koans. No worries, it's my fault. I was on the triggers. I pressed the very bad buttons to do that. So the version is version 0.2. The current author, I think I can tell that I am the author, so I will do it this way, or better with the real name. I made a search and replace for everything, so, or better, info at FlutterExplained.life, I think is the name. Or contact, I'm not sure about that. I have to take a look. That should do that. We are done with that. and we edit this. So now comes the cool Git messages like fix, and hotfix, you know. But actually, if I reload this, we should now see, okay, somewhere these problems are still containing. Where is this in the contribution? But I made some minor, so there is still some problems there. Have it also in the README. This is good. This looks good. So you can see it will be a pretty big PR, but actually that's pretty worth it, I think, at the end. So we have that, this is done. In the README I said we have wall somewhere here in that part, in this part. And do we have somewhere else this problem? No, I think that should be good. Cool. All right. So I will push that once more. readme.md. Okay. So I will not merge that now, but whenever you have a question or something, please add that to here, then we can talk about it. All right, so thank you very much for joining me today. It was a fantastic session. Thanks everyone. We managed to have very nice Koans. I think I'm very happy with the resolution here, that we have a watcher that watches for the packages. If we change something inside of our asserts, then it automatically understands this and repairs it. So we get also the information that something has changed here. So as you can see, we get immediately a green tick, which is fantastic. We get the information what is going on and when we have done everything correctly. And what I will do for that now is I will remove all of them just for a sec, save the whole thing, and we can see if we are successful with all of them, we get even a success message. And as you can see, we get even icons inside of it. So it is pretty fantastic. I'm very happy with the solution that we created here. And I think till this afternoon, I hope. So see ya, guys.